What's up, everyone? I'm Coach D with the MeidasTouch Network. Hey, if you haven't yet, go on over to my YouTube page at Coach D_speaks and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. So the next time you hear Donald Trump or JD Vance give an actual solution to a problem or a policy that might fix the problem, it'll be the first time. They literally have no policies at all. They have talking points and platitudes, but absolutely zero substance. JD Vance was asked a softball question. Charlie Kirk asked him, "What can we do to lower the price of childcare because it costs a lot and it's making it hard on families?" This was an easy question that Charlie Kirk probably thought he would knock out of the ballpark, but he did the absolute opposite of that on multiple tries. Check this out.
What can we do about lowering the cost of daycare? Hayden, obviously a working family, and it's very hard for working families to get by. How will we lower the cost of daycare?
Such an important question, Charlie. And I think one of the things that we can do is make it easier for family models to choose, or for families to choose whatever model they want, right? So one of the ways that you might be able to relieve a little bit of pressure on people who are paying so much for daycare is make it so that maybe like grandma or grandpa wants to help out a little bit more, or maybe there's an aunt or uncle that wants to help out a little bit more. If that happens, you relieve some of the pressure on all the resources that we're spending in daycare.
That's not a solution. That's not a policy. That's not even an idea that everyone hasn't already thought about. My goodness. He said, make it so grandma and grandpa will be able to watch the kids, or maybe uncle and auntie will. Why does he think grandma and grandpa, uncle and auntie aren't at work as well? But even more important, what is his solution for making it so grandma and grandpa, uncle and auntie can watch the kids more? He frames it like he and Donald Trump can do something to make this possible, but he doesn't tell us what that something is. And spoiler alert, there isn't a something at all. There's not one single piece of legislation that he or Donald Trump would be able to think of that would make it easier for someone's grandma or grandpa, aunt or uncle to watch their kids. I mean, maybe they would consider lowering the retirement age, but that's never going to happen, as all of their proposals are to raise the retirement age. But it gets worse, because if that doesn't work, here are his other ideas.
Now, you talk about just daycare. Let's say you don't have somebody who can provide that extra set of hands. What we've got to do is actually empower people to get trained in the skills that they need for the 21st century. We've got a lot of people who love kids, who would love to take care of kids, but they can't, either because they don't have access to the education that they need, or maybe more importantly, because the state government says you're not allowed to take care of children unless you have some ridiculous certification that has nothing to do with taking care of kids.
I'm 100% sure that this dude was given the questions beforehand, and this was the best he could come up with. He had time to look over the question, think about it for a while, and the best he came up with was, let your grandma and grandpa take care of those damn kids. Or two, let's cut corners on protecting the kids' safety. Because my question is this: which of these certifications does JD Vance think is not important for a childcare provider? Number one, CPR and first aid. Does JD Vance think that childcare providers should not be able to administer CPR or first aid to a child who needs it? What about child abuse training? Does JD Vance think that childcare providers shouldn't be skilled in recognizing when kids are being abused? In most states, these are the only certifications that are required. Others are suggested, and most parents are looking for childcare providers who are the most qualified. What the heck is this dude even talking about? I'm not sure if he's lying or ignorant or both, but he continues this horrible answer.
So empower people to get the skills they need. Don't force every early child care specialist to go and get a 6-year college degree where they've got a whole lot of debt and Americans are much poorer because they're paying out the wazoo for daycare. Empower working families, empower people who want to do these things for a living, and that's what we got to do.
Where the hell is he getting this information from? What childcare provider needs a 6-year degree? Most in-home providers can be up and running in about 6 months. This guy doesn't know anything about real Americans. He is absolutely out of touch. And let's not forget, the question was, how can we lower the cost of daycare? He never answered that question. He literally just rambled on. And again, I'm 100% sure he was given the questions ahead of time, and this was the best he came up with. And if you ask JD what he could do to make rich people more happy, he would quickly say subsidies, grants, and tax incentives. But they don't need them. Daycare providers and parents do. Those are all empowering people. My goodness. JD Vance was asked how to lower daycare costs, and he said, have your grandparents do it or stop trying to make the kids so safe at daycare. We are absolutely doomed if this guy and Donald Trump are elected. Vote blue. Period.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.